Welcome to the Dating Kinky Podcast, a cast about love, sex, romance, and kink. It's been a crazy first month of 2022, and heading into February, I'm gearing up today for our 3-day sensuality, sex, and orgasms event. I'm super excited about this one because since I discovered sex, sensuality and sexual connections with my partners have been a core of who I am. I've always loved trying to grow my skills and understanding in that area, and now I'm heading into a full weekend of immersing myself. More, I get to connect with other like-minded people and socialize as well. Pure bliss. Of course, all the replays will be available for our Dating Kinky Plus members, along with over 500 hours of audio and video content on an array of kinky topics like non-monogamy, dominance, rope, submission, mental health, dirty talk, femdom, and more. Even I love our Plus membership since in events like this, there is no way to see all of the presentations. And I can catch up on the ones I'm not hosting at my leisure. So yeah, super excited. And today's topic? Well, I'm not excited about it, but it's important to talk about, so I'm sharing. This one hits close to home for me. Of course they knew. There has been a kerfuffle locally. Someone that hosted some pretty large parties over the years has been accused of some heinous things, and the blame is flying. Everyone who attended a party or called these people friends is assumed. Everyone who attended a party or called them friends is assumed to have been part of the cover-up because, well, of course they knew. Sure, of course, because you know everything about everyone you know, right? Let's take a simple example. How long were you in your last long-term relationship? A few months? A few years? A couple decades? How long into that relationship did it take you to realize the really negative things you learned about your partner? I know for me, it took years before I saw the asshole inside the man I spent my life with. More years before I saw his mental illness come to the fore. And still more after we split before I knew the extent of everything that people were trying to protect me from. And somehow, people think that kinky folk who spend maybe a few casual hours at a party with 30 to 120 other people with them must have known that they were a bad human and that they were nefariously covering up awful stuff. No, that's not how things work. Let's be clear. People are not the same. That may be obvious, but it's not. Because even though people realize that other people don't feel the same way they do, they often think people think the same way they do. So they misattribute wrongness to ignorance or meanness to cluelessness. I've been misunderstood enough times in my life that I always try to give the benefit of the doubt to others and to ask when I can, instead of assuming. Sometimes I also get that wrong, but I do try to connect with people where they are rather than simply thinking I know how they must be thinking or feeling. And I've found this to be an amazing and useful skill to develop. Not just for community, but for my relationships. In fact, I've written about it before a few times, and I'll put the links in the show notes. I assume you like me until you tell me otherwise. Assume it's not worth getting upset about. and why we don't assume our partner's thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you fallen into the trap of assuming intentions and found out later that you were wrong? Have you had the same thing done to you? How did it feel from the other side? What could you do or have you done to try to avoid similar misunderstandings moving forward? Thank you for joining me today. If you love this episode, please share it with others who would enjoy it. And please do join me on our new apps available in the Google Play and Apple App Stores. Dating Kinky is built by Kinksters for Kinksters, poly, queer, trans folk, and anyone not quite vanilla, and it's free. Find me on FetLife as Nookie Notes, and on Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, and Medium as Dating Kinky. We're on Instagram as Dating Kinky Official, all one word. Also, find me on the new Moan app in beta for iPhone. I'm Miss Nookie there. TheMonapp.com. Have a kinky day, and I'll catch you next episode.